All you need is love. Yeah, da 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 da. All you need is love. Yeah, da 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 da. Gotta check my sound. All you need is love. Love. Love is all you need. You guys like that song? All right, let's see what's going on here. Oops, where am I? Oh, we've got something strange going on there. Huh, how bizarre, how bizarre, how bizarre. Okay. I'm playing with some new stuff. I think I'm going to be able to make life a lot better for everybody. I think I'm going to, once I sit down, I'm completely trapped. Hi, everybody. How are you? I think I have a way. Maybe not. I was thinking I could prop up. Never mind. I'll figure it out later. I was trying to figure out a way that I can set up a second camera so that you guys can see the cards. And now that I'm thinking about it, I realize it might be a lot harder because if I take the laptop and put it over here, there's going to be reverb, so that won't work. And I don't know if they, I don't know how to do it on a, hello. Hello, everyone. How are you? Welcome. Is everything set up? Yes, it is. What's happening? Okay, let me just check our sound. Can everybody hear me? Yes, we've got to talk about, you know what? I tried to explain to Armin over at Atheist Republic what was happening, and he poo-pooed me, said I didn't know what the fuck I was talking about, but thank you for the super chat. I have to keep reminding myself that the rest of the world does not get the news 3 weeks early. So then I tried again, and I even supplied him with links to boost my theories, as you say. And alas, Armin thanked me again for another $10. And over at Atheist, what is it called? Atheist? I don't know. Anyway, so I tried to explain to Mr. Armand what happened in Iran, but alas, he felt it was his job to educate me, so he told me I didn't know what I was talking about, and so you know how it works. It works that we have to be patient, right? How many people have been with this channel for a while? You've been with it for a while? Yeah, it gets to be frustrating. How frustrated do you get from me? I just want my friends here. Come on, you. Yeah, come on. Yeah, don't be frightened. Come on over here. Let's have a little conversation. Get it all nice and pretty for you. Let's talk. First off, how are you? Welcome to my allergy. I dusted like crazy. Oh my God. There's still so much more dust. Under the rug is a year's worth of Mila fur. So I am fast on it. So if I do cough a little bit, I apologize. I also, full confession, do occasionally participate in a little vape at night. Sometimes I give it up. If I'm stressed out, I use a little. It is doctor prescribed, so that too can cause a cough. So no, I've gone to the doctor about the cough. It's allergies, a little bit of too much party in the evening. These things can make me cough, but there's nothing wrong with me. So don't worry. I want to say that we are raising money for water.org. We have already raised $310 before we got here today. God bless you all. I want to give a shout out to everyone who's decided to become a member. Much gratitude. Your memberships mean a lot to me, and they allow me to continue to show people live demonstrations of what it is to be a real empath. Not, I know everybody wants to be emotional and sensitive, and we are for the most person sensitive and emotional, but a professional empath. Who here is in training to be a professional empath? I know Kitty Connell is. It's actually pretty complicated. You know, there's a science to it. There are energetic organs you have to study. We recommend you take HCRV 40 hours before you try to teach it. So people will do the series 4 times. The first time you take HCRV, you have a vague idea what the hell's going on. The second time, it's like learning how to drive. You don't fall off right away, but you start to feel like, okay, I'm starting to feel the gut. I'm starting to feel the Kundalini energy coming out of the first. You start to feel things. By third quarter, fourth quarter, by fourth quarter, you still feel shaky, but you think you can teach this stuff. Yeah. So that's life as me. Why am I frustrated? Because for those professional empaths that are here and those people that are in training, I think Geocosmic Valentine, do you have teaching? I think she has teaching certification. The more you start to do this, the more frustrating it becomes when other people cannot see what's obvious. It's just unbelievably frustrating, and it drives me up a wall. And I wonder if other remote viewers are going through this in their own lives, where they will stand back, be able to look at something objectively, research it, go into an altered state, play out being all the parts in the drama, and find out what you come up with. You'll be shocked at how much emotionalism leads to bad choices in life, and that people cannot stand back and look at things objectively. And if they could use these skills of HCRV, we could probably prevent a lot of misunderstandings and war. You can join at any time. Class is, you guys changed it. Students voted to have it Friday at 6 p.m., but in the winter we have it on Wednesdays just because I don't like to work Friday night. Hi, Equus 3333. And then I want to announce that we will be doing our Mystical Tarot series after we end the certification for HCRV. We're going into Introduction to Mystical Tarot. That'll be going on. We have a break coming up, a summer break, and then fall quarter will be starting for HCRV training. Hi, Ann Dillon. Thank you for your membership. Also want to announce that Joel Tilson is here. He is our formal floor director. If you have any concerns or anything, feel free to ask Joel Tilson. Hello, Stephanie Stevens. Delilah Gillis, thank you so much for being here. Tariana, welcome. Paula Schnell, welcome. Elizabeth M., welcome. Jane Adams, hello. Karen, Roxanne, Wendy, hello. Carol, Christina, Tariana, love that name. Delilah, we said hi to Kitty, Jill, Christina, Elizabeth. We said hi to Roxanne, Sandy Miller. I hope we've said hi to you. Whispering Chores and Rush, thank you for your membership. Okay, so are we ready for the remote views? Let's go ahead. We'll do the Empath prayer. I think everybody's here. We'll do the Empath prayer. And then we will get started. I also want to make some announcements that our book of the month, we showcase independent writers that are either self-published or small-time writers that need to get some attention. We like books that have an ethical theme. We like magic, etc. I do have someone who's a vampire writer. If you guys are comfortable with vampires, we could introduce a vampire series. I'll let you guys vote on that. I like vampires, but I also get a little scared of it. So it's Loracan's Bane. It is a very beautiful, romantic, and sexy book. If you like sexy, magical stories, this made me this reminded me of some passion I have not felt in a while. There's some very sexy people in this book. But yeah, Loracan's Bane. It takes place. It's a medieval story of magic and mysticism and witches in the best possible way. Witches being a person who attains the most power and knowledge you can in whatever skill you've chosen and then uses it for the good, right? That's the best type of witch you can be, I think, right? All right, let's do the Empath prayer, and then we're going to do the remotes. We've got two. We've got one on what's going on with Iran and the assassination of Iran, and the other one is on Diddy. Sean Diddy Combs' confession, which he gave evidently from a resort in Bali. What's going to happen with that? What are we supposed to be learning spiritually from what's going on with all of that? The fall of Hollywood, which we properly predicted would happen in about 5 to 10 years. We made that prediction, I believe, 5-6 years ago. So right on track. Yay. Let's go ahead. We'll do the Empath's prayer. Okay. I want to call on white light protection for myself and this community as we ask permission from Spirit to access the Akashic records. We call on our spirit guides and our good angels to be with us. Please give us the clarity and the wisdom that is needed to empower all of us on our journeys to make the best decisions for ourselves, our families, the planet, the people we love, but also to help those that we may have strife with. And together collectively we say, Amen. I also wanted to mention that if I haven't already, that we are raising money for water.org. And so if you had a nice time today, you may want to think about donating to water.org or think about memberships. Those are great ways to continue to enjoy the benefits of this channel. We do offer free readings on Saturdays to members. And at the Elders and Empaths level, we do teach mystery school, the arts, herbs, tarot, and remote viewing. So we hope you'll join us at the Elders Empaths level. All right, so the first thing that I had tried to explain to Armin, who I do like, Armin over at Atheist Republic, who told me I don't know anything about Iran. So here's what I said to Armin. I said about Iran, based on the remotes, that people who want to normalize relations between Israel and Iran assassinated Raisi. He was in trouble because he was an extremist and because his entire security team was dedicated to the destruction of the state of Israel. He had no real power, but he was in line to be the next supreme leader. And his extremist policies put the country of Iran at risk. And when there was rumors that he was dead in the crash, people began to let off firecrackers and celebrate in the streets of Iran. Based on the remote, the Iranians, their own intelligence took him out, and they took him out because they were afraid he was going to, that Iran was going to have an atomic bomb dropped on them if this guy didn't. And his extreme push, he did have power. He had power because he was a lobbyist for extremist policies. He then went to Saudi Arabia when Saudi Arabia was negotiating normalization with Israel and basically said, we want a piece of the pie. Now, that's not public information. And what I said, and I wrote a letter to anybody can write a letter, I'm not important, to the Israeli cabinet and said, as a concerned Israeli citizen, if that's what's going on, I strongly encourage us not to make such a deal, because if we make such a deal, they're only going to use the money to strengthen their policies against us. So I sent over to Armin, hey, I think that Iran took him out, and I think it's because they're afraid this nut job is going to get them all blown up. You don't know what you're talking about. He had no power. Thank you for the super chat, but little pretty lady, You know what I put up with. How much time do you have for stupid? You're remote viewers. I'm so glad I'm talking to some of my graduates and students. Some of you are professional. How much stupid should I be putting up with before I gave the guy $20. I gave him links to educate him. Give up? Of course I gave up. Raisi's national security team. A list of 19 proposed cabinet members to parliament. All of these people are wanted. Everybody on the list is wanted by Israel. Everybody. They're all wanted. It was turned into a wanted poster. So then the question becomes, if this guy is wanted by everybody, specifically, who did he piss off? Part of the sign of the regime deadlock. The rapid approval, regime supreme leader Khomeini. What happened? Abraham Raisi has claimed he intends to resolve Iran's economic and social, requires administration to start working. But the reason he's hated is because he wants to put all of his money towards war with Israel. And so what happened was, as a result of that, people in Iran became angry that money that should have been spent on them was being spent instead on this war that they didn't want to fight. These two separate articles. Anyway, so I thought what's that noise? I thought that what was going to happen was that when he went to Israel, or when he went to Saudi Arabia, I thought, is this guy going to get taken out? Are the Saudis going to assassinate this guy? But that's not usually how the Saudis operate. They're not going to kill you right away. They're going to be all friendly, and he's going to show up on Saudi land, and they're going to be all polite, and he's going to say, well, sure, we'll normalize relations with, we won't bomb Israel, but you're going to have to pay us. We want a percentage of whatever profits you make from normalizing relationships. And of course, the trade routes, India and Iran, those trade routes, et cetera, et cetera. So there's this war that starts to happen. All right, let me open up the floor for comments and questions. First off, how annoyed should I be when I try to explain this stuff to somebody and they don't listen? Let's go. How annoyed would you be? It's just very annoying, isn't it? Oh, are they going to let me on? See, this is what I hate about my security. I hate when I can't even log into my own. Is this me? Nope. Dang it. See, I can't even log in. I don't even know my own Facebook. I sent something to Lena Rodriguez, and yeah, now I can't get in because I don't even know my own contact information, but maybe I can get it on here. It was a really interesting article I found about this whole phenomenon, and I sent it over to Lena because I had contacted Lena. I was thinking about Lena Rodriguez, and I was thinking about that song, What is that song by the Beatles? Ooh, I get high with a little help from my friends. Ooh, I'm gonna try with a little help. Yeah, so when this whole thing was going on, I was talking to Lena Rodriguez, and I was texting her, and I was going a little bit crazy, and I was saying, oh, they're going to take out Raisi because Raisi is a threat to. And I had a pretty good idea of who was in on the plot. And so I sent everything over to Lena Rodriguez so Lena Rodriguez can confirm this. And so we're casually talking about, so Lena, Israel's going to work with people inside Iran who are moderates to assassinate Raisi. She's like, yeah. He wants a piece of the pie. Yeah. So how do I handle having to sit on this? Because I can't tell anybody. I can only tell you. You're the only person I trust who's another remote viewer. I gotta sit on this because this is high profile information, man. I need to talk. I need help, man. I need emotional support. So Lena said, it's hard to be a remote viewer. It's hard to be an empath. So can you all see this okay? How we doing? Is everybody okay? Oh, good. Geocosmic. It's frustrating when you see the future and nobody else can, and you're screaming at the top of your lungs that these people on this list are going to be assassinated, and it's going to be done by moderates within Iran, and they coordinated with the Israelis. Nobody would listen anyway. So all I did was cry on the shoulder of Lena Rodriguez for 6 months and send her this. And she just said, I know who did it, by the way. I know who was, Lena and I sometimes will share data, but we even know who was responsible inside the cabinets. So we just sat and talked about silly things we did our fun little Taco Tuesday. I did my Taco Tuesday, she would have. And this is the kind of thing that remote viewers, I'm like, we can't talk about it. We can't, but this is an article that came out basically who was wanted, who do they want to get rid of, because these are the people that are most likely to get us into World War III. So what do you do in a situation like that? Well, if you're a moderate in the Iranian government and you're privately meeting with intelligence, that Israeli and Saudi Arabian intelligence, about trying to normalize relations, what are you going to do with the people who are most wanted because they're the ones that are promoting malign priorities? Well, the people that are promoting malign agenda against Israel and the rest is Abraham Raisi's cabinet. And you can see that the West, Israel, Saudi Arabia, the United States wanted everybody on that cabinet, starting with number one, Raisi himself. This article came out, by the way, in August of 2021. But the remote was done approximately 6 months ago. You guys will have to ask Alana, or you'll have to ask Lena about it. What I sent to Mr. Musk and to the IDF was that my opinion was that if you made a deal with him, it would end badly. It would end badly because all of this affirms that Raisi's indifference to the pain and suffering of ordinary Iranians, but skepticism about his administration's policies stem not only from his legacy of human rights abuses, but also from his prior contribution to the clerics regime's misplaced priorities and endemic corruption. So basically what happened was they took him out and they want to do what we had talked about last week, which was to move towards moderation, and to move towards normalization with Israel. And you can't do that as long as a wingnut like this and his wingnut friends are around. And so they took him out. You guys want to talk about it? Not to make it about me, but I'm getting real tired of being smacked around. So I brought in Lena Rodriguez as reinforcements. Go talk to her. Yeah, no. No, there's a lot of stuff she and I don't share with the public because they become security issues, and then it becomes an ego issue. Wait a minute. Yeah, so that's what happened there. And then I wrote, did I write anything about President Raisi is most likely dead. Talked about, if you are a remote viewer, you need to have a sounding board, somebody that you trust that you can who's also a remote viewer. Like I go to Lena, find someone who does what you do for a living. The sociologist and the anthropologist weeping. Why is there war? I don't know, Lena. Let's have another cuppa. Yes, I miss Australia. I love that part of the world. Okay, so that is that remote. Any questions? Iran has been extreme since the Shah's departure. Yeah, but there are two camps, one that wants to normalize relations with Israel and move towards extremism, and this guy. And they're celebrating. They're dancing in the streets. I think it was done by moderates in Iran, and I think it was coordinated with Israeli intelligence and the West, because they want to move towards normalization, because they cannot continue the sanctions and they cannot continue. These policies against Israel are going to get them blown up. And I think that we're going to see I think they're going to move away from extreme policies, because the writing is on the wall for Iran and they know it. And I think they're genuinely afraid. They're afraid, and they're afraid of the policies of extremists like Raisi. I did have a nice boyfriend in Aussie land, but we couldn't make it work. He couldn't leave. He had 2 daughters. I couldn't go there. Yes, he was a wonderful artist, one of the most incredible artists. Yes, Michael, we wish him all the best. Okay. Do you guys want to talk about Sean Diddy and what the spiritual lessons are about Sean Diddy Combs? Are you aware that he did a confession video recently from what are we calling him these days? Diddy? So it looks like Sean Diddy has apologized. You know what it reminded me? Anybody here young enough to remember Tammy Faye Baker? Who was her husband? He picked up a prostitute. I have sinned, and so you're going to have to send me more money. Couple of things that were pointed out by Tisa Tells. Hi, Tissa. We're big fans. She saw this coming because she said, I am the Oracle. I thought that was really funny that she was joking that she was the Oracle. But maybe she's even greater Oracle than the Oracle of Whimsy. She certainly seems to be quite good, but she does get a really good feeling. And I think she is a bit psychic, but she knew that the confession was happening. I think she's right. I think it was in Bali. You could see the design clearly. They just, from the monsoon, they have those roofs. How sincere are you when you skipped town? Don't you think if you were sincere, you'd get on a plane and come back to the United States and turn yourself in? I mean, I don't know. That seems kind of odd, turning on the religion, now he's got religion. Couple of things people are going to be facing is be wary of trauma bonds, where people begin to feel sorry for the perpetrator. Trauma bonds, like Anybody here suffer from trauma bonds where the person that fed you was also the person that was smacking you around, right? That's a trauma bond. So you have to be kind to the abuser. You're not even going to get scraps, right? So that's how trauma bonds happen. And if you grow up in a family where you had trauma bonds, then secondary abuse is going to happen. Well, you should have known better. No, trauma bonds, early trauma bonds teach, unfortunately, a child may grow up believing or not having any comprehension of another way of doing things. And so frequently children in the system wind up re-abused or trafficked, etc. And so vulnerable people wind up in these trauma bonds. I have to protect Diddy, or they begin to feel Stockholm syndrome, compassion, or empathy even. And then in some extreme cases, the perpetrator is the victim, and the victim is an evil, horrible person for having reported him, for having fought back. And so one of the things that Tisa Tells was saying, and I 100% agree with her, is to be aware of the trauma bonds. Anybody that says, well, we feel sorry for him. Many of us who are empaths have that condition, right? We have to catch ourselves. People that work with us, whether it's the feds or foreign government, whoever or a private company, they know that most empaths have this. So we can get taken advantage of even by the people we work for. Just be aware of it, both in your own profession, having healthy boundaries, because we know how to love monsters, right? Professional empaths know we have learned how to love the monster, but also be aware, use that frontal cortex to step back and say, oh, I get what this is, and to be able to cut cords. That's my advice to colleagues here and other professional empaths. And then how abusers and narcissists can use religion in order to speak for God, become, take on powers of God, and how Diddy could potentially use religion, to manipulate it because he has that narcissistic tendency. We talked a lot about the destruction of Hollywood, what we can spiritually learn about it, what we can spiritually learn about this idea of idol worship, how we begin to worship and adore something even when the facts contradict the worship. So, somebody recently was British and commented on the king's portrait, which was all in red, and said to me, I think it really looks more pink than red. I think he looks kind. Okay, so what a person's personal, perceptions are going to have an impact on whether or not you see the king's portrait as good and kind, or if you see something else. Because this individual loved the monarchy, she loved King Charles, she had grown up probably hearing funny stories, great stories about King Charles. She looked at this picture, and I think she bought a copy of it, and she said it looked more pink in her copy, and she thought he looked kind. Now, this would be another example of what is objective reality versus, say, it'd be interesting, what was the intention of the artist? Amazing artistic ability. Look at that. Look at that. What I saw was certainly colored by my own biases, right? My own biases about the royal family. But this is an incredible artist, regardless. I saw black eyes. I saw black. I didn't see blue eyes. And I felt that was intentional. There are strange things in this painting. This almost looks like two people kissing in the past, but they've been erased. It's like he drew things and then he erased them. People, and then he erased them, as if lives had been erased. as if families, these are people in the background hugging and kissing. It's as if he wanted them to be there, but then he brushed them away, as if to say, look, there's another head. These are all the victims. That's what these bobs are, holding hands. This almost looks like Meghan and Harry, I think of, is like, he gave it all up. He gave it all up so that he could have that saber, so that he could be that king. And it was all worth it, wasn't it? So that, I just see victims everywhere, victims in blood and grimy, dirty hands holding a saber after a battle. And all he lost, look at this. This looks like a British lady's hat. What is that, Catherine? It's like he gave them all up. They all went away. He destroyed them all. It didn't matter. His wife, his children. Here's someone's face. Who cares? Look, he survives. He's killed them all. He's destroyed them all. Looks like a man kissing a woman and holding hands, and then they've just been erased. This is a woman's lady's hat. This is what I see up here, is a lady's hat with the white brim. It comes out like this. I don't know if you guys can see my pointing, but I see a lady's hat here. Yeah. I see two people here kissing. I don't know. So again, what's the takeaway? That, sometimes we see things, they saw kindness. I saw something entirely different. So the spiritual lesson, cult of celebrity is a kind of idol worship, time that could have been spent learning values and foundations that sustain our kids are instead being spent following after celebrities whose behavior may or not coincide with values that are good for them, So that would be an example of just blatant idol worship. And you're worshiping human beings because of some talent or ability, etc., and not based on anything sustainable like real ethics or what they're doing to help their communities. Be careful of compassion towards the perpetrator because it endangers the victim, minimizes the victim. Yeah. So that was the takeaway, that it's idol worship, and it further harms the victims, because then we become the rallying cry, trying to, protect the perpetrator. Oh, he feels bad now. I don't think it's going to go well for Diddy, because he has to come back to the States and face the music. And if he is an FBI informant, then the FBI has to face the music. Again, here's another case of Epstein or whatever, where a person's free to do whatever they like, including bringing drugs in to the country and killing people in his own community with rape and drug. How come the feds? I understand the feds might have been getting a ton of information, but there comes a point when the ends don't justify the means. Oh, am I upset? No, I'm fine. I'm just upset about injustice. I'm fine. All right. Is everybody ready for your community reading? Thank you for worrying about me, darlings. Yeah. So what do we take away from all these conversations? Why do I love to talk about royalty? I think it's fascinating that you can hypnotize people into worshiping something so bizarre. I find it absolutely fascinating, because when you think about it objectively, that's money that needs to go to make sure that everybody in Britain has proper food and education. Why aren't all the children getting an eaten education in Britain? Why is it, this is all a bunch of BS. Yes, we did the empath prayer, and we're going to do the collective reading now. We're just in the beginning with the conversations and about how the remotes tie in, and making sure you have a friend or somebody like Lena that you can lean on when you do have those types of remotes. But that's what I believe happened to Raisi. He was taken out because of his policies. All right, let's do a collective reading. Let's do. What is going on for this week? This is a collective reading for everyone who watches it. What is the energy like for this week? I think we're moving away from war. We are moving away from war. I think Israel won the war with Hamas. And now the international community is going to come in and do the rebuild. That's what I believe. But now there's fighting between Ganz and Bibi because of the rebuild. We'll see. All right, what's going on with us for the week? Oh, much success in your entrepreneurship. If you are starting up new projects, starting like a new business, or you're out looking for a new job, you got a month. This is a very productive month. Excuse me. I thought I was going to have a cough today. I have no cough. Wow, that dusting is working, folks. Yeah, so I feel like my energy is good. I don't know about you, but my energy is good. We've got an Ace of Wands for the week, and that's actually for the whole month, because I read wands as for a full month. Ace of Wands is really get some work done. This is productive. Get out there, work on your garden, work on your entrepreneurship, and study. Be sure and get your studying in. And now is the time to be working on your side hustle. I see this being a very productive May for people. Yeah. Oh, MLR, this is a really good productive month for you. You need a place to live, a job, a car, the list goes on. Well, start with your most basic needs first. But Ace of Wands, if you're looking for a job, you'll have one in 30 days, less than 30 days. Could be even sooner. Also, your first house is the star, which means you're receiving blessings, and your stars are good this week. Hold on. Sorry, that was my attorney. Okay, so the star is here, and then 8 of Wands, which is a crossing card. So it means that you have good blessing, you have good stars, and it's going quick, quick, quick. It's going quick, quick, quick. What is above, you get your wish. Whatever it is you wanted goes quick, quick, quick. What you're sitting below, really think about what the ideal life looks like to you. What does your wonderful world look like? Really think about what you're creating. Your past placement, letting go of what doesn't serve you. Like, I'm just throwing a ton of stuff out. Put it in boxes. Make your home as minimal stuff as possible. Put it in boxes and hide the boxes, and take out a box a week or a box every 2 weeks and throw it out or whatever. But yeah, now is the time to just get rid of stuff if it is interfering with your ability to think, to learn, to grow. If it is just depressing you because you can't move because there's too much stuff in your bedroom, hide it. Take it all and just hide it in boxes. Just have your home, nothing in the room, and then slowly take out what you actually want, and everything else, keep it in the day. You can hide it, donate it. The point, it's the fastest way to clean. Just get it out of your face. Just get it away from you. Out of you. If you sit there with every single section of the room, and then I'm going to go to the north, and then I'm forget this. Throw it in, get it out of here. Oh, I need that. Oh, I need that. Oh, I need that. Take it all out, clean it, and then put it back. But Hanged Man is in your 5th house. So it's really this feeling that you got to let this stuff go right now. You're headed towards the time of it's over. The old ways are gone. This whole 5D, I didn't believe in this stuff, but I'm beginning to think like the old matrix is over, man. Too many possessions. It keeps you from traveling. It keeps you from being free. It costs money. Even a freaking storage unit isn't worth it. You're headed towards smoother waters. Rougher days are behind you. Your opposition is the man. So you could be feeling like being controlled, the emperor. Maybe there was too much control growing up. Now you kind of are putting too many controls on yourself, and maybe you need to give yourself a little bit more freedom, your hopes and fears, your own spiritual awareness. Don't put restrictions on. Challenge yourself when you put restrictions on yourself. Your final outcome is learn to protect what is yours. 7 of Wands, to protect and demand the best for yourself. You have a new beginning in your life. Clear the way to to become the creative, artistic, spiritual person that you are. And for that reason, you want to really keep things as simple as possible. You're entering into the time of Queen of Cups, who is the dreamer. She is the creative, artistic type, but it only happens after you do away with the things that are causing you stress. If a bill is causing you stress, see if you can't get rid of the bill. Do you need cable? Do you need, let it go, let it go, let it go, because you cannot dream and you cannot create if you don't feel safe in the world, and if your basic needs are not being met, and if all you're doing is thinking about harm to your possessions. And that's the problem with too many possessions. Going it alone, scholarship, new beginnings. That's what this month looks like for you. I hope you enjoyed it. The gentle art of Swedish death cleaning. Yes. Only this is the harsh art of Swedish death squad cleaning. That would be mine. I'm an Anderson, gosh darn it. An Anderson. I'm not Swedish, but supposedly. The Andersons settled in Kent. I think it was from the name originated from the Vikings, right? My paternal line is British. Yes. Swedish death squad cleaning. There's nothing gentle about it when I do it. Throw it in a box and throw it out. Don't let your cat get in the box, because that has happened and people have accidentally shipped cats. Watch to make sure there are no felines. That's bad. Suitcases in airports, trash bags. People have thrown their cats in the trash and it was not intentional. It was just that the cat jumped in. Oh, there's a can of tuna. You got the thing open, the cat jumps in, tuna. You throw it up, you think, man, this is heavy. You throw it in the garbage. Next, you got, where's my cat? They found that cat in the trash and it was chipped. They were just throwing out trash, a bunch of trash, right? Cat got into the bag. I get it. Oh, it's a miracle the cat didn't die. Yeah, the cat was chipped. The cat jumped in to get food or whatever. It depends on how well. Cats tend to be very food focused in general, whether they're hungry or not. I don't know what that's about. But some cats are more obsessed with food than other. Like my friend, she has a cat. That cat is so obsessed with food, all it does is stare at its food bowl all day long. And I don't know, whereas other cats are not that food obsessed. But then there was that one guy, he was on a trip to Europe. He takes his bag, they put it through the screen, and there's a cat inside. Cat had jumped in because they jump into things. All right. Well, when you guys are ready, we will blitz, blitz, blitz away. Be sure and share, like, subscribe. And if you're having a good time, think about donating to water.org. Water.org delivers safe drinking water to people all over the world. And so if you feel good about today's show, think about sending a couple bucks over to water.org. It's much appreciated. Let's get to some blitzes. Is anybody surprised that Raisi got taken out? Did people, I'm interested in if any of the remote viewers here had a feeling that he was going to get taken out. Did I talk to Debbie about it? I might have cried on Debbie's shoulder also. Oh, hi, Carol B. That's sweet of you. You just gotta find someone to talk to, because a lot of the times you can't talk about this stuff. That wasn't something I wanted to make public, so I went and I told because I had a pretty good idea. I found the plot, and I had a pretty good idea. I know who was behind the plot. And so I sent everything to Lena Rodriguez. Yeah. So today, I sometimes I can be mean. Today when it happened, I said to Lena, I sent her a note and I said, it took too long. I know. You'd think that an empath would have been nicer, but what can you do? Okay, MTG was tipsy when she started the tussle Thursday night during the oversight committee. I think that they phased out. I think the intelligence agencies got rid of these people. But let's take a look. Marjorie Taylor Greene. She thinks that there's a war, and she thinks that she is going to win the war. And she says that she's got dirt. This is Marjorie Taylor Greene talking. She's declared war, and she doesn't take kindly to people treating her like she's a dumb blonde. And she knows things about these people, and she was in the room, and she's going to turn on them. So there's something we can all look forward to, is her turning on Republicans, and that means it's war. She presents as the King of Swords, the general going to war. Her enemies finished. The situation has changed, transformation. She fears the collapse of her GOP. The sun is coming out, which leads me to think she's going to expose or say something. She feels like she's losing control over the Republican Party, and she's very concerned about things. You can see here, 9 of Swords. She's stressed out. Look at this, death and them defending their territory. She's going to war with these folks. Hopes and fears is the 7 of Pentacles, the use of money. Like she did not feel good about the money to Ukraine. And you can see here, 8 of Pentacles. She's pounding away motion after motion. She's trying to get, she has no power. She's frustrated. She's fighting. The worst thing that she can do is to begin to turn on people and hand over whatever she has to the feds. And that may be what she does. I don't see much of a future for her. All right. A lot of people are wondering about Netanyahu. As you know, he and Benny Ganz are at war with each other. Part of the reason that he and Benny Ganz are at war with one another is because Benny Ganz wants to do a rebuild. I think he wants to do the Oasis project. I think that he is a moderate. I think that he's an extremely ethical human being. And so as the war wraps up, rightly so, Benny wants to know, well, what about the rebuild? What about bringing in Saudi Arabia and normalization? What about bringing in Europe and NATO, and let's do this rebuild? Unfortunately, Bibi is going in a different direction. He's talking about bringing in Mahmoud Abbas. Well, that's a problem, because if they're not loyal to the West, who are they loyal to? And he has a no confidence in Mahmoud Abbas. But so they've got till June 8th to agree. I am concerned because I know how much money is going into the rebuild. I know how badly people want that rebuild. And I know that it's going to be impossible to protect the Suez Canal without Middle Eastern NATO and European help, which is what Benny is saying. But let's take a look and see if Benny is going to get what he wants. I hope so. Benny has the votes to become the next prime minister. People want the rebuild. He's going to be able to do the Oasis one. He has the votes, the Empress. There's dancing in the streets, which is also armistice. The war will end. He will begin to focus on the renewable resources, which again is the rebuild. And he has a star over him. The future is Benny Gantz. Yeah. He's a peacemaker. He wants to integrate the settlements. Isn't that cool? Anybody can live there. Don't tear them down. Include other people. Whoever lives in the West Bank needs an apartment. Peacemaker. Look at that. He's breaking. I think that Netanyahu's days are numbered. He's like Putin. That Putin's days are numbered. Netanyahu, it's the old guard. It's that old conservative guard that created a lot of these problems in the first place. So yeah, you can see the amount of protest. We raised $310 so far for, thank you, Debbie. We've raised $310 today for water.org. Thank you, everybody who's been contributing. I know we received quite a few contributions before we came online, and I do thank all the regular members for that. Much appreciated. Iran's assorted nuts. Yes. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. It's hard to be an Aries remote viewer because we can't suppress. Was anybody else frustrated about Iran, waiting for that to happen? The coup. Well, what did I say last week? Was it last week or Thursday? I said that they would work towards an integrated model rather than a hard collapse, right? So that's basically what we're looking at. But let's take a look at the future of Iran. We said a shared with the Ayatollah and more rights for secularists, so that they can avoid, and moving away from extremist policies with Israel is the direction of Iran. And part of that was taking out Raisi, and it had been planned for a long time. It was planned between Western intelligence. What it looked like was that it was being planned with Western intelligence, and it was planned with the Israelis, with the Saudis, and I didn't think that I knew that they wanted him, and I knew that they wanted his cabinet, that he was the number one person that they wanted. And what I was trying to explain to Armin is that it doesn't matter if he kept saying he has no power. He has huge lobbying power. And he was also one of the main people that was up to become the Khomeini. He represented the most hardline policies of Iran. And clearly he had power, and clearly his cabinet had power. which is why he was wanted so badly. But these were also the people that engineered Hezbollah. These were the people that were propping up Hezbollah bases in Lebanon and funding Hamas in Gaza and trying to coordinate the attack on Israel. And the money, instead of going to the people, was going to these policies. Raisi became the regime's president, while many Iranians have personally suffered or lost loved ones as a result of his actions as a government prosecutor and clerical judge. He carried out death commissions, 30,000 executions. So clearly, the Iranians wanted him gone. Skepticism about his administration's policies stemmed not only from legacy of human rights abuses, but also from prior contribution of clerical regimes, misplaced priorities, and endemic corruption. You guys can read the rest of the article if you want to, but honestly, he was implicated in the AMI, a bombing commander to their little several bombings he was connected to. The hostility and enmity between the Iranian regime and the society will intensify more than ever, said Mrs. Rajavi. Also emphasized that Raisi's priorities would prevent the international community with a litmus test for their commitment to democratic principles and universal human rights. So, yeah. What did somebody say? You can bring a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. That's the frustration of being a remote viewer. You can just rip your hair out. If I were a man, it's frustrating to be a remote viewer who's female. Maybe I should hire some blonde, aging male actor to just read my remotes, and then I'd probably get more work done, you know. But yeah, it is a coup. Yeah, I would say so, Joel. I would say that what we're looking at is very much a coup. Yeah. Mossad and the Saudis were working together to eliminate. Yes, they worked together to eliminate extremists in Iranian leadership, so that the only people that were alive were the moderates that were willing to broker a deal with Saudi Arabia and Israel for a lasting peace initiative. That's correct. Damn, Joel. You are awake today. What's Joel making? He's a good cook. What you making today? All of this is so annoying. Yes, it's annoying. Wendy's really psychic. She probably gets annoyed too. Yes, I know, Wendy. It's very frustrating. Okay. Remote viewer and astrologer both. Geocosmic Valentine writes, as much as you can help it, don't let anyone affect your energy by frustrating you. I just think, like my grandmother says, a hard head makes soft behind. How involved are the Russians in this Iranian process? Good point, Dwight. Well, they are allies, and they do share the sea, the Caspian, and you have the Black Seas and the Caspian Seas, where Turkey and Iran are sharing with trade with Russia. And so that area has always been a hotbed of problems. Yes, Geocosmic, we need a remote viewers. Well, I hope we can supply that in mystery school. Maybe I need to spend more time with you guys, because sometimes I cry on your guys' shoulder. I'm sure you guys want to cry on my shoulder. It's annoying. Well, his information is correct in a way, in the sense that the president is a figurehead, but look at how much damage the guy did. Clearly, it's just, it's annoying. If it wasn't a problem, if he was not a problem, he wouldn't be the most wanted. He wouldn't be West intelligence most wanted guy if he was not a problem. All right. He's the number one most wanted. Him and his entire cabinet. By the way, they took out him and several members of his cabinet. They were scared. You understand? They were scared. They got scared that Israel was going to drop a bomb on Tehran. Basically, Israel said, if you don't get rid of this nut job and his policies and the direction you're going and back off with this Hezbollah crap, we are going to take you out. And I think that Iran, rightly so, got scared, and the moderates took the wingnut out, along with some of his Fruit Loop friends. And I think that this is only the beginning. I think we're going to see more targeted assassination of extremists in Iran by moderates, who are deep in security, because they're working with the Americans, Israelis, and Saudis to desperately try and keep Iran not only from getting blown up, but because the sanctions are killing Iran until the only people left in Iran are the ones that are willing to broker a deal with the West. And that's what I think is going on. And it's the best possible way to have a revolution. We don't need to have thousands of people. We don't need to have blood in the streets of Tehran. And this is a great solution. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's the best thing that could happen because he was the main cheerleader of all this extremist crazy. And the weapons factories, the championing of the Hezbollah, pushing troops in, the main cheerleader, it was Raisi and his cabinet. So you do what you have to do for your country. In a way, this is being a patriotic. It is being a patriotic Persian. Because you do if you love your country, you'll get rid of this nut job before he gets you all blown up. It's bad enough that the sanctions have been so harmful that people can barely feed themselves. So I think the people that did this felt that they had no choice, as I think the Iranians did it. Benny Gantz's future in the Middle East. Yes, I think he's a peacekeeper. I think that he is going to make the impossible possible. I think that we are working towards a soft border between Gaza and Israel and between the West Bank and Israel through integration and unity. I think these people got involved in cults, hating the Jews. I think that it's scaring the West now because it's now been exported to Britain and the rest of the world. And I think that the rest of the world has not caught up. And the rest of the world doesn't realize that the cult that they're screaming about, which is money being funded from Iran, is already over. And I think the assassination, which is what it was, of Raisi and members of his lunatic fringe cabinet being taken out systematically. They're all getting taken out, as are senior leaders of Hezbollah. I think it's, again, enjoy your gardens this summer. Go on vacation. Everything is going to be okay. Israel will have peace. Gaza will be rebuilt. The Gazan people will have more space than ever. And the crazies are going away on both sides. We're moving towards unity. And the good news is we know what we have to do. We know what we have to do to create unity. So it's a good thing, but it takes a little while, and we have to get Whimsy, I saw your pinned questions changed, but haven't seen or heard you yet. Anyone else? I don't know what that's about. My ex. Oh, yes. Just like Trump, he's now, I don't know. Oh, are you guys talking about Diddy? Oh, Delilah Gillis talking about Diddy said that all those SOBs get God when they get caught, just like Weinstein and Cosby. Do you think that Weinstein got God? I don't think so. He wasn't. Was he reading the Bible? I don't think so. Did Bill Cosby read the Bible? I mean, these people. Do they ever really get God? I don't think so. Yes, the painting shows strange designs that I saw in the painting. Do we still have the painting up? We can go back and take a look at it again. I saw that he had erased the images of people's figures. That's what I saw. Um, I saw the butterfly. Can you guys see I saw the butterfly here. This over here, I thought of Meghan and Harry right over here. Because it's a woman and man kissing, and then it was erased. Here's the two heads. Here's some other figures erased. These are figures of people. Here's a butterfly emerging from the battle. This looks like a woman's hat. I wonder if this is Princess Diana. This looks like a hat, a lady's British hat. It's like he drew figures in the background and then he erased them as if to say, I survived all of you. I survived all of you. I emerged. And the hands are not clean. They're dirty, as if from a battle. And he's holding a saber. He's in military garb of the British Guard, and the color is red. Yeah, I just see people as if they've become the past. They're all gone. They're all dead. He survived them all. He survived, people who loved, people who fought, he beat them all. Diana's dead. God only knows where Catherine is. He survived them all. His mother's dead, and he emerges. He's the one that survived with his grubby, dirty sausage hands. Again, this is my perception. I think it's hard for me to believe that the artist liked him, but my God, what an amazing artist. Look at the face, look at the lines, look at the precision. Just incredible artist. Incredible, incredible technique. So that's my feel, and I'm, it's a conversation. We can be polite to each other. We don't have to be mean. People saying, you're evil because God bless the king. God bless, they're wonderful people. That's just my perceptions. And I admit readily that I am biased. Oh, best friend's daughter was a victim, says Delilah, of Cosby. I can imagine she would have a lot of problems after somebody drugged and raped you. I mean, and then denied that they did it, as if being raped and tortured and drugged isn't bad enough. And then to be minimized, trivialized, discarded, and told it didn't happen. Imagine what that would do to your mental health. So, and that person might have been her mentor. Terrible. It's the ultimate betrayal. Teachers, parents, taking advantage of the vulnerability of somebody. Yes. The monarch. Oh, the monarch is just a symbol of the environment. I think it's almost like saying, well, you slaughtered and murdered everybody, but you did it all, but all the while saying you were an environmentalist. But look, the monarch survived. It was okay that you murdered and slaughtered and tortured and killed your people and drove your wife off a road and but hey, look, there's a monarch. I mean, that's another way of looking at it. This is, to me, horrifying painting, like the libertarian billionaire rich vampires taking blood with everyone. Yes. I'm not upset. I'm upset because, I'm upset when I try to warn people and over they don't listen. And then I just have to people like talk about something else. Like people, when I get upset like this, they're like, how's the weather in China? I'm like, but they don't listen. It's like, don't worry, Whimsy. They'll be back in 3 weeks. I know, but that's not the point. I feel disrespect. It doesn't matter. Tisa Tells was like that because she told everybody Diddy was going to do his apology, and people said, "This lady's on crack." They were like attacking her. And then he did it within a couple of hours, exactly how she said. And it was exactly, and she was like, "Okay, now do you believe me?" So all of us that do this kind of thing, we get people, it just comes with the territory. People will have a right to disagree with you. Yeah, we're talking about strange symbols in the painting that are disturbing. Absolutely. All right. Did everybody have a good time? Okay, Harry and Meghan are doing great. No need to check on them. I think that they have won the war, and I think everybody knows it. All right, you guys are awesome. Have a really great day. Thanks for hanging a little extra time with me today. If you need to get in for a tarot reading with me, phone reading, check the information below. Also, I'm available as a naturopathic doctor through telemedicine for general coaching. That information's below as well. Be kind to all so that all will be kind to you too. And we'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.